Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here. And it's been a few days since Rockstar announced the two new DLCs that are going to be coming out in Grand Theft Auto Online. One of them is going to revolve around stunt races. The other one's going to revolve around organizations and headquarters and finance and felonies. And I've been reading a couple forums and I've been just thinking about some things. And I want to just talk to you guys about a few topics today regarding those specific updates. So I've already done a video touching on some of the more hidden details you might have missed. Today, like I said, is just going to be me really just doing some brainstorming about some ideas and possible features that might be included in these two DLCs. So be sure to let me know if you agree with me, disagree with me. Let me know in the comments section down below. But the first thing, and this actually comes from FunMW2, is that job points might actually be used as far as your organizations go. All right, so one of the first things I thought of when they announced that they were going to be going back in an executives and other criminals kind of theme for this finance and felony DLC is how the VIP timer was going to work, because we all know that you can only be a VIP for a limited amount of time. And in theory, that works great for kind of doing VIP missions and challenges. Those are short and simple and sweet and to the point. But as far as running an organization and trafficking contraband, you'd think you'd want to work with the same nucleus and core people for multiple different missions. You don't want to be doing with randoms. You want to be doing this with the best people you know so that you can maximize your profit. So how long are you going to be able to be a VIP? And is the VIP system going to be improved on so that it's not more of a temporary thing? Well, FunMW2 believes we might be using job points to possibly extend that time. So here's the extracted in-game text from the files. You can see this is what it says. Are you sure you want to pay 250 job points to register as a VIP? So there is a possibility that we could be using job points to either one, register as maybe a permanent VIP, or two, use job points to extend our VIP timer. And we all know that job points are earned and have been earned throughout various races, death matches, pretty much anything and everything you do in Grand Theft Auto Online involving a mission or a selected job. So I think that's kind of an interesting theory. Will job points ever play a role in this new update? I guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out and see. Another line that really caught my eye from the newswire was expect the unexpected as you head out with your team to make each pickup. Keep your stock in mint condition to maintain value and sell it at a profit, and watch for raids on your warehouses between shipments. So I'm not exactly sure how the raids are going to work, especially if you're inside buildings, considering right now you can't really be attacked while you're inside of your apartment. So it'll be interesting to see how Rockstar plays that out. But I expect, since this is going to be a DLC very similar to Executives and Other Criminals, that we may be getting some more armored vehicles. So one thing I thought would be really cool was if we got our own customizable version of the money trucks. You guys know some of the things that we were able to rob before Next Generation came out. That would be cool if that's the kind of vehicles we used to transport our contraband, our drugs, our jewelry, whatever the case might be. And I think just like Executives and Other Criminals, we are going to see a pretty significant chunk of armored vehicles added into the game. Whether they're armored versions of existing ones or whether they're new armored vehicles, I'm not sure. But I would imagine that we would be able to do that, considering that Rockstar's putting an importance on keeping stock in mint condition to maintain value and sell at a profit. And because there are so few details released, really we only have a paragraph on what this is going to be. We don't know a whole lot of information, but I would imagine that they would at least try to add a few vehicles with these two updates. And as far as the finance and felony ones, some armored ones might make sense in this case. And I was starting to go back and looking at some of the features that I think might be added in this update, and I went to the Executives and Other Criminals trailer. That was one of the few Grand Theft Auto Online DLCs that got an official trailer, and there's a few things in there that kind of caught my eye and that were actually not included in Executives and Other Criminals, which is kind of odd because they were in the trailer. So the first of which is two hotels were actually shown off, the Von Krastenberg and the Gentry Manor Hotel. I have always thought it would be very cool to be able to live in the hotels in Grand Theft Auto and in Los Santos and wherever else in the world. So maybe this might be where our organizations take place. I was actually mistaken in my video the other day. It seems as if headquarters and warehouses are going to be in the exact same places. So maybe a hotel could serve as an all-in-one. And maybe we might be utilizing that from what we first saw in the Executives and Other Criminals trailer. And also, there was another feature. It was like valet parking. I don't know how much sense valet parking works, considering it's so easy to drive your own car around. But that might be a cool feature if you're busy doing other organization and trafficking things. If you wanted to say, hey, come valet my car, take it to this location, could you have a personal driver that could take vehicles to certain locations and set them up for drug, raids and whatnot, getting an armored vehicle into a certain location so that when you get the drugs, your car is ready and ample to go. So I think that it could be used in a pretty cool way. Obviously, that's just a guess from what I've seen in the Executives and Other Criminals trailer, but I think there's a lot of potential there for Rockstar to do some really cool stuff. Okay, up next, one thing I thought was really interesting is actually a comment that Rockstar made on their own Newswire post. So this is the one that came out the other day with the two photos. So I'll put it on the screen right now. It comes from Rockstar X. They say, please stay tuned for much more info about these upcoming GTA Online updates. So that pretty much answers it right there. That Rockstar, this is just the teaser, and that Rockstar is going to be providing more updates and information for us regarding these contents. So I don't know if the next newswires they're going to do are going to tell us about the release dates, because that's obviously something that was really vague and really broad. You know that they only said expect them in the coming weeks and the coming months ahead. And I'm not too sure if this means they're going to be talking more specifically about the content that's going to be arriving too. For the Stunt Races DLC, maybe they'll talk more about the tracks. Maybe they'll talk more about the vehicles. Maybe about some of the gear and upgrades you'll do to your car. For the Adventures in Finance and Felony, maybe they'll talk about some of the things you can do as a VIP, as a bodyguard, what you can do inside of your organization, headquarters and warehouse. So that is really cool. And something else that I think this means is that Rockstar might not necessarily be releasing these sooner than we think. Because if they state they're going to be providing more information about these updates, they're clearly going to provide the info before they release them. So does that kind of change the dynamic on when we should expect new content from Rockstar? I'm thinking that it's going to be at least 2 or 3 weeks before we see the first update, and then maybe a month or two before we see the second. Now, of course, that's just my best guess, but it does make sense that Rockstar would put out the information first rather than releasing it and then obviously putting out the information. So who knows? That information just came out, at least when I'm recording this video. I'm actually having to go in right now and go back and talk about this because I thought it was so big that I wanted to include it in this video as well. So let me know what you think. Do you think the information that Rockstar just provided by saying that they're going to be giving out more information and details and updates regarding the new Grand Theft Auto Online content, do you think that means it's going to be coming out sooner rather than later? And one final thing they also confirm is that it's not going to be available on the PS3 and Xbox 360. We kind of knew that, and I'm guessing it was assumed, but Rockstar go on and state that it's not available, and they leave a link to a Newswire article talking about it. So I'm guessing they had a ton of people saying, is this content coming to 360 and PS3? No, it is not. It's only going to be coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. All right, and finally, last but not least, there was something else that caught my eye on the Newswire post the other day. And it was kind of the odd opening for what Rockstar's calling the stunt races. So in bolded letters, they say Cunning Stunts, which I think is kind of interesting. And if you didn't know some of the in-game things in Grand Theft Auto 5, you might not think about it. But in Grand Theft Auto 5, there is a Cunning Stunting Academy. And there's billboards that can be seen all throughout the game and in Los Santos. And there's also an in-game television ad for the Cunning Stunting Academy. I'll show you guys that right now, kind of in the background, so you can see what it's about. Now, it seems to be less about actual car stunts, more about human stunts and obviously doing dangerous things. But this wouldn't be the first time that we've seen a DLC feature a sort of academy. The Flight School update had the San Andreas Flight School Academy, where you could actually go and kind of train and do missions for various flight school objectives and jobs. So maybe Rockstar will open up the Cunning Stunting Academy, which will kind of prep us for stunt races. So maybe it'll take us through obstacle courses, prep us how to go through the various tubes and tricks and whatever is going to be added in this update. So again, that is just something to think about. Clearly, all of this is just my guesses and kind of what I'm just piecing together from various things in games and other trailers. But I really would love to hear from you guys in the comments section down below. Do you think we're going to be getting a new Cunning Stunt Academy? What do you think about some of the new features I possibly talked about within the Finance and Felonies update? If you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With out of the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.